Here are the top reasons to choose Ridealong Live for your wedding video production. Now, your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. It is a day that you will want to cherish and remember forever. That's why it's important to choose the right company to handle your wedding video production. Here are some of the reasons why you should choose us. Professionalism. Now, we are a team of experienced professionals who are dedicated to providing high-quality video production services. We have worked with countless couples to capture their special day and create videos that they can cherish for a lifetime. Attention to details. Now, we understand that every wedding is unique. That's why we take the time to get to know and understand our client's individual need. We pay attention to every detail, from lighting to song to the editing, to ensure that your video is perfect. Creativity. We are always looking for new and innovative ways to capture that special day. We use the latest equipment and techniques to create a video that are both beautiful and unique. Customization. We understand that every couple has different needs and preferences. That is why we offer customizable packages to meet your every need. We work with you to create a package that meets your budget and your vision. And last but not least, customer satisfaction. Now, our goal is to provide you with a video that you would love. We are committed to customer satisfaction, and we work with you in every step of the way to ensure that you're happy with the final product. Choose Ridealong Live for your wedding video production, and let us capture the special day in a way that you can cherish forever. Speak to our dedicated representative. Call 718-701-5720. We travel worldwide. Ridealong Media Group. Always amazing, always exceeding your expectations.
Yes, welcome to Ridealong Live. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring. You know how it goes. But Spice, you got notification on you? Oh, you got notification on YouTube. Okay. All right. Welcome again, guys, to another edition. This is Tuesday edition, guys. Apologize, I'm a tad bit late, but I have a story to tell. I have a story to tell. We got a lot to discuss, guys. We have a lot to talk about today. Right after I tell you my story. Gail, how you doing? Thank you so much. Everybody share, please. Everybody share. Everybody share. Thank you so much. So far, guys, are you getting better notification now? Let me know, because as I said, we've been struggling. We've been struggling with Facebook and the notification and things like that. Let me know if you guys getting better notification now, so I could stop emailing Facebook and cussing them out, kind of 4-letter word on them, all them kind of thing and them there. Let me know if everything's sort out. Everybody getting notification fine. Everything is good. Oh, you always get notification. All right. You're a special one. Appreciate you. Crow, Veronica, Sandy, you always get notification. Thank you. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Love that. Okay, everything start out then. I could stop calling them people and them and cuss them out. All right. Good. All right, guys. So listen now. Let me just share a couple times here. So listen now, guys. Dodo, you didn't get notification. All right, so listen. Today, I had on schedule to bring on a guest, right? Cazelle Jackson was my scheduled guest for today. Now, if you guys remember, Cazelle Jackson, let me just change on my lights in the back a bit, guys. Let me see. Where are you? Before I start, I gotta set the thing right. You don't want to change. Anyway, it's not important right now. So Cazelle Jackson was scheduled to be my guest today. Who is Cazelle Jackson? I'm about to tell you. Now, about 2 months ago, so we had Duke, Watson Duke on the program. And, he was talking about the Tobago House of Assembly and how, almost everyone resigned from the party and chalala. Cazelle Jackson was the deputy. She then resigned. Then leaked video footage of her got released on social media. Big uproar, a lot of comments. Watson Duke came out and he was speaking about it. He spoke about it and he said that they had a sexual type relationship. I admire Kizelle Jackson and the way how she handled the situation, because she basically came out and she was strong throughout the whole process, right? So I commended her. I did a video and I really commended her. Although she went through a lot, she kind of rose from the ash, right? And I thought it was commendable. So we did get in touch with Kizelle, and Kizelle were committed to come on today. However, I can't find Kizelle. I don't know where she is. I've been trying to reach Kizelle, but I don't know. We scheduled. Everything was good. Everything was supposed to happen, but I can't find Kizelle. So I'm thinking that I don't think she'd just blank me like that. You guys think Kizelle would blank me like that? Nah, I don't think Kizelle will willingly just blank me like that. Nah, I don't think so. I do have something lined up for you guys that we're going to talk about, but I don't think Kizelle would just ignore me just like that. Nah, I don't think so. I'm not gonna feel depressed about it, but I don't like to get blank. Nobody likes to get blank. Yeah, I don't know. Kizelle, where are you? I'm looking for you. Anyway, guys, so we got something else to talk about. Hopefully tomorrow I'll find out what happened to Kizelle, and she'll come on and we'll talk about. Yeah, she might show up. You never know. Who knows? So here's what we're going to talk about today, and hopefully we'll schedule Kizelle for tomorrow once everything is reconfirmed and I get in touch with her tonight and sort out. So today, guys, ladies and gentlemen, what we had was the House of Representatives, and let me pull that up. Yeah, so the House of Representatives met today. They sat today, and it was, I think, a very informative sitting of the House of Representatives where they discussed the data protection bill. Now, it became very controversial because of how the whole construct of the thing. Because what happened a few years ago, or before election, in March of last year, I believe, that same bill passed the House, the cabinet, right, of the former administration. It passed. And the 5 members sat at Parliament today, and it seems that they were not really in support of some of the articles in that said bill. So we got a chance to watch the House of Representatives sitting today, and I want you guys to tell me about your concern, about what you saw, what your thoughts are. All right. With me on the program today, I have Dwight, Mr. Dwight. He's my trusty friend. I'm told you I just called Dwight 5 minutes ago when I found out that Kizelle is not here. I said, let me, one person I could call, Dwight. And although Dwight just walked into his house, he said, okay, I'll be there for you. And I appreciate that. Dwight, how you doing?
Hey, Junior, I'm good. I think I need to call your secretary and place a bill on record.
Yeah, you have to put that in. You have to make sure that you those.
I think I need to put my bill in. But it's always a pleasure, bro. Whenever you call, I'm always here to answer. It's
Man.
Business, the people's business, and it has to be done. So somebody has to do it.
Somebody has to do it. That's what I'm saying. All right. So Dwight, I know you got a chance to watch part of the presentation today, right? I'm going to go through a couple of the presentation. We have Ron Redhead, we have Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, we have the opposition leader presentation, and I want to talk about it, including, I'm going to put the number up so at any point in time our viewers could call in and participate. But let me give you guys a quick synopsis of what was written here about the bill. The bill primarily aimed to regulate the processing and use of personal data in commercial transaction and to prevent malicious use of personal information. This piece of legislation plays a critical role in the safeguarding the interests of individual and making it illegal for anyone, be it a corporate entity or government ministry or individual, to sell personal information or allow such use of data to any third party. Just your basic overview, your thoughts on this particular bill as at face value. What's your thoughts?
Well, one of the reasons why I took this opportunity is because let me just out front say that this is not a bill that is generalized Grenadian. This is an OECS bill. I would have listened to the debate in Antigua about it. I think that's the only country so far that would have passed the bill. It's not a Grenada bill. It's an OECS bill, and this bill has been around for well over a decade. I was always confused as to why it is that it was never passed in Grenada, seeing that our country, our former Prime Minister Mitchell, loved to tout that he was the Prime Minister responsible for science and technology. And this bill primarily is a science and technology based sort of bill in the sense that and this is not even a generalized regional issue, and the selling of information from Facebook and so on and so forth. But then when you begin to look at the nature of the new National Party, the kind of things that you hear about them, the allegations leveled against them, you may begin to kind of understand why, as a party, they would not want to pass a bill like that, because I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's to protect somebody. Clearly, some level of protection taking place somewhere. I listened this morning as I was on my way out. I was listening to Dr. Modest. I believe she was the last person that I would have listened to prior to me getting almost 50 calls today from my regional journalistic colleague and asked what stick break the camel with our Prime Minister. And I had to go scramble around Facebook to find what they were speaking about. And when I did see our Prime Minister was very passionate, called out on hypocrisy and of the opposition, I see a man that is fed up and sick and tired of the rhetoric, and this government this former administration, the opposition continues to play politics with the nation's business. And then who gets the blame? The government. The government seems to be taking licks for things that they're not responsible for. This bill, would have come out somewhere in maybe 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah,
right.
11 years to be exact.
Exactly. And where was Decon Mitchell? Where was all of his ministers? Where they were? But if you want to come up to, and this is one of the things that the former administration did not do. They were jet setting all over the place, going to all different kinds of meetings. But then the question begs to be asked: what did they do when they come back from these meetings? And we are seeing it now. A lot of the legislations just last month and one before or something like that, this Decon Mitchell administration has had to pass a bill that was OECS, and I think Grenada was one of the very last to pass the bill. Again, that had to come over from the previous administration. Now we have this one. So we continue to have bills on a regional level that was supposed to be passed by the previous administration that they somehow flunked on. And the question begs to be asked: who or what are they protecting? And how, if this bill is passed, how would it affect, the people who milk off of the NNP's breast? And that is what I got this morning when I saw Emmeline Pear, and Emma got up and she was so passionate in the house about, we had issues. But y'all were there for 10 years. Y'all were out there for 10 of the 12 of the 11.5 years that this bill has been in existence. Y'all could not take it to Parliament and change it. Y'all don't have an
opposition. What it is, in all fairness, the bill itself passed in cabinet, right? In the previous cabinet, it passed there, but they didn't table it. They didn't bring it to Parliament. So,
But Junior, let's be real. I'm sorry for cutting you. Let's be real. Let's be real.
mhm.
First of all, it passed in cabinet. Do you know that the cabinet notes are secret? Nothing that's discussed in the parliament is supposed to be released. So it passed in the parliament, but we don't know the
In cabinet,
discussions. We don't know. We don't know the conversation surrounding its passing,
right?
right? And the cabinet is not. It doesn't make it law. The parliament
Yeah,
does.
it does. It does.
You don't pass a bill in the. Since we're passing bills in
Well,
cabinet, cabinet is where you
it's the first
discuss
step. It's the
matters.
first step. It's the first progressive step. The thing about it is they never brought it for
Cabinet approved the bill. They didn't pass it. They approved
They
the
approved
bill.
the bill. He approved the bill. Sorry, they approved the bill, not passed the bill. Let's get it right. They approved it. So the 50
Oh,
members, I mean, they had full control. They had full control of everything. They didn't need nobody else. They could have taken it to Parliament. They could have taken it to Parliament and passed it just the same way. But
but Junior, for 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 how many years? 3 or 4 of the last term in government, they had a one-man opposition. One man
yeah,
opposition. They clearly had 14 seats in the parliament. What possibly could have stopped them from taking this bill to parliament and get it passed?
yeah,
What could have possibly stopped them from taking this bill and bring it to the stages of committee in the parliament, get the so vehement about, so verbacious about, get it rectified and pass it? It's not making sense. And our
right,
prime minister is right. They are hypocrites, and they've been very hypocritical. Not just our prime minister, Honorable Ron Reddit is right. Tevin Andrew is right. Philip Telesford, they're all right. Joseph Andel, and you know
yeah,
Joseph is generally very reserved. He's very intelligent. The wisdom comes out, but it comes out very slow. But
right.
today he was very forceful because it is blatant hypocrisy. Past administration, the NNP opposition is hiding somebody, and the passing of this bill is going to expose something that they do not want to be exposed. That is what it is about. Somewhere within that act,
Well,
somewhere up and down those pages, some claw is putting them at
right.
risk and exposing them. And that's, since when is the NNP calling for public consultation? I am confused.
Yeah, yeah.
In
All right,
the
let's take a listen.
24th,
Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen to the leader of the opposition. That's his first presentation on what he had to say. Let's take a listen.
Part of this process. Oppose.
Let me just say also, guys, if you want to input on the conversation here, you could call us. The number on the screen 718-701-5720. All right. Again, let's listen to the former Prime Minister first presentation today.
The initiative of a data collection bill. In fact, our government was part of this process. It was when the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union presented a draft of a harmonized bill through the OECS. It was intended through consultation, from what I understood, that bill need to be given wide consultation through the entire OECS, and in case of each country, wide consultation within the society involved. And each government has a responsibility to tailor the bill for its own circumstances. And therefore, it was quite in order for that to be done. So in many years past, through the NDC government and the first NNP government from 2013 to 2018, consultation and discussions were held, but nothing, the process was not moved sufficiently. It was in 2020 21 stakeholder initiative was done and consultation was held within the public sector, including the legal department. The government then asked the Attorney General's office to proceed to look at that bill and make the necessary adjustments as it's seen by them, to recommend to the cabinet to go forward to Parliament. That process was certainly not completed, and the ministry had reported that they were not able to get the consultation process done at the time. So the election was held, and of course, that bill was never discussed at all the levels that it should have been. And that, of course, includes the Bar Association, the trade union movement, the business community, the churches, and all concerned. The point is, Mr. Speaker, this bill has enormous impact on all persons in the society. All persons in the society it has impact on. So the need to have the consultative process done is extremely relevant. And that is my main concern.
All right, Dwight. Your concerns so far from what you heard, from what you're hearing from the opposition leader.
I am confused. I am totally confused. Junior, let me explain something, right? Mm-hmm. Now, whenever the OECS, either the Economic Union, which is basically the ECCB, mm-hmm. OECS Secretary in Lucia, or the umbrella of nations, enacted a bill or would have drafted a bill. They would have drafted that bill to protect the smaller islands, especially the OECS, from external shocks. What is external shocks? From external agencies, organizations, countries, taking advantage of the smaller nations and to protect them, right? Now, this data protection bill, I don't think consultation needs to be done. I think education needs to be done. The bill essentially protects Grenadians, their information. Now, almost everywhere you go across the state of Grenada, everybody has a cell phone. Years ago, there was a conversation about having a computer in every home. Nowadays, right, we have a cell phone in every pocket, sometimes two, in every house. And on that cell phone, you have Google, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, TikTok, and TikTok is the US State Department is considering banning them over the leaking of information. That's right. Another conversation. Right? You have all of these social media apps. What you do is that you put in these app data, your date of birth. Sometimes we even put our bank cards, our credit cards and so on into these apps. Like, you're on the go and you buy a plane ticket. So you just go on one of those apps, Hoop or whatever it is, and you just a hopper and you just put in you buy your ticket. And we do not think that anybody may have access to those information, right? Let me bring this home to Grenadians so they understand. Have you ever thought about a song and then go on YouTube and the song just pops up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Have you ever think about somebody, hey, but I ain't see so and so in a while, and bam, you go on Facebook and they pop up in your friend's suggestion? Mm-hmm. Or they post something and just pop at the top of your timeline? That is what this bill protects against, the selling of that information. Yeah. Right? The accessing of that information and using it to play mind games on you. For example, we have the Reggae Fest show coming up. Not advertising on your show, but I'm using an example. Okay, let me use one that gone, Dexter Dap, coming up, well gone. And you're saying, but I want to go to Dexter Dap show, so I want to buy a nice dress. Let me check Shein. And the first thing that comes up is a dress that you think in your mind that you wanted. That is what this protects. Corporate entities using your digital footprints, the information you input against you to force you into buying or whatever the case is. So because this is how they make money. This is how they make money, right? They trace your digital footprints, the sites you go on. They trace the sites you go on, the places, your Google search, all of these things. And then they use that information to lower you in to make purchases that you necessarily don't want to make. I saw somebody said some time ago on Facebook, Amazon is the biggest crack house ever. And it's a reality. You go there to buy one thing and you buy 12 different things. And before you know it, you're buying more. So this bill essentially is protecting your information from being sold to the highest bidder. Right? That is what it essentially doing. Years ago, they did surveys. Now they don't need to do surveys because they create diagonals in their websites that traces the things that you want. Right? So what green agents need to know is what the bill is protecting. They don't need consultation because half a green agent does not know this. They don't understand this. They don't research this. Right? And based on how the previous administration run the country, living off basically social safety net, the cycle of poverty continue, and a lot of people, and this is not a bad statement. It's not our fault. It comes down from slavery and it continues down today. A lot of people, a lot of children grew up in poverty and go out and live in poverty because the cycle simply continues. Nobody teaches them. Education is a means of breaking the poverty cycle. None of that, right? So you try to have a conversation, try to what suggestions could they give you, possibly to tell you, okay, well, change this to that, or change NLP. It does not make no sense. What needs to be done is that you get experts within the business, within the ICT community, to tell people, well, be careful how you search on Google, because when you search on Google and you search for red dress, that all you will see in your timeline for the next month is red dress, right? Media have the previous government for 10 years, have they thought about doing that? Have they thought about teaching children, right, that when they take a video and they skin their face and their teeth and they do whatever in front of it and they put it on the World Wide Web, Lord knows where it ends up, because you're not in Asia, you're not in Croatia, you're not in Australia, you're not in the Fijis, you're not in Brazil, you're in Grenada, so you don't know that your picture could be taken to make an ad in the Philippines, and somebody's making billions of dollars off of that ad. You don't know that because you're in Grenada.
I want to reiterate on what the law does and what it doesn't do. Right? Again, let me read it. The bill primarily aims to regulate the processing and use of personal data in commercial transaction.
Exactly.
Prevent malicious use of your personal information. This piece of legislation plays a critical role. Now, in all fairness, based on what the opposition said today, they did not say that a data protection law is not needed.
Exactly.
That's what they said, right? I think we all could agree that a data protection law is necessary and is needed. Look what happened with Facebook when Facebook was selling data during the election time. So we need that. There's no question about it. The difference, what the opposition and the government side is saying, is that the time frame. The government is saying they need to get it done now, and Emmeline Pierre and Dr. Kit Mitchell and others on each side is saying, well, what is the urgency of getting it done? Let us wait, give it some time, right? But before you respond, I want to play Ron Redhead respond to this particular instant right here. This is Ron, and this is what Ron had to say.
Is it Honorable Member for St. George Northeast?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I read is to give my full support to the bill. It is required. It is going to help bring the question of data protection in line with modern practices. It is going to help to support small individual people who cannot fight corporations to be able to protect their personal data. And Mr. Speaker, it is clearly explained in this bill. It is specific to commercial transactions. This is what this bill seeks to protect. It says so. So the context in which the use of warrant is being bandied about is deliberate. And Mr. Speaker, through you, I want to make this point. The first time I heard some of the concerns that is now being raised, and mind you, the concern that is being raised is that it is dangerous to people, to Grenadians. This is what was said, essentially. All of the members on the other side, Mr. Speaker, through you, who rose this morning to say nay, cannot produce a single aspect of the bill that is substantive to suggest that it will inhibit people's rights and we will do this, we will do that. Let me give you two examples. When in 2013, the bills that were passed dealing with international crimes bill, for example, that was intrusive. The one in question about wiretapping, etc., that was intrusive. This particular bill is not intrusive because what it seeks to do is to bring commercial entities in line with ensuring that new modern guidelines are put in place to protect people's data. This is when we come here to debate. The petty politics, those sorts of things has its place. But this is substantive things. We are dealing with a situation globally where the threats of the world are coming through data theft, where the threats of the world are coming through ICT, etc. This is clear. The member ought to know that. And Mr. Speaker, through you, His Majesty's opposition must stop this. There is a member, Mr. Speaker, through you, on the other side who is of legal background. Maybe he ought to be leading this team on the other side because he may have been given better guidance to understand that this does not seek in any way, shape, or form to interfere with people's rights. So let's be serious. The second thing I want to raise before I end, because my comments are very brief, is that I listened to all of the concerns. When the COVID-19 bill, for example, was being introduced, and I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, that the members on the other side through you ought to know that. And when we come here to debate, the petty politics, those sorts of things has its place. But this is substantive things. We are dealing with a situation globally where the threats of the world are coming through data theft, where the threats of the world are coming through ICT, etc. This is clear. The member ought to know that. And Mr. Speaker, through you, His Majesty's opposition must stop this. There is a member, Mr. Speaker, through you, on the other side who is of legal background. Maybe he ought to be leading this team on the other side because he may have been given better guidance to understand that.
So that in a nutshell was a
this does not seek in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Yeah. So that was Ron Redhead, Honorable Ron Redhead, speaking on that. Your take.
Ron is absolutely right. As a matter of fact, the biggest crimes that are happening now in the world are not with guns and knives anymore. They are the theft of information, because that's where the $1 billion is. If you know how people think, then you know what to make for them to buy. It's as simple as that. I'm a professional photographer. I'm looking for a computer with certain specs, right? That will, aid in and help me in my business. I mean, I don't want to sit down for 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 days, 10 days searching online for a computer. I want something that's just bam, And if I'm a photographer, when I go onto eBay or any of the other sites, Amazon, the first thing I see is, computers specifically for the needs that I want, because I'm always buying camera equipment, right? So Ron, in a nutshell, is right. But Junior, I wanted to respond to something that I saw somebody on it said. Danny McIntosh says this guy is talking rubbish. It's to prevent the state from using information against the individual. It's to stifle criticism and prevent blogs, podcasts, and those who might leak information to the press. Now, I want to know what OECS has to do with leaking of information to the press, or blogs, or podcasts. This is not a Grenada-centric bill. This is a bill that was put together by the Monetary Council to prevent information.
ECCB, I believe.
Yeah, the Monetary Council.
Yeah.
So there's a central bank, and then there's the Monetary Council made up of prime ministers and so on.
Right.
And ministers of finance, rather, not prime ministers, ministers of finance. Right? Let me just say this, right? Let me just say this. This government, the NDC government, is the first government after Barbados in the Caribbean to accept, to enhance, to agree with the potentials that there is in the creative industry, right? Junior, you and I went to school in Grenada, and we know that in every class there's just this one comic that had a whole class in stitches every single day, and they do it naturally. That person could make millions of dollars from just doing that. I went to school with Josh and Jeremy Hector. They are excellent musicians. They had Soul Deep, which basically broke the ceiling for live music bands and a lot of the restaurants and stuff in Grenada, right? This could have been monetary. They could have made, well, actually, Jeremy is making quite a comfortable living by simply playing his guitar. The point I'm making is this. If this government was looking to stifle blogs, etc., why would in heaven they would enact legislation to enhance the creative industry? Blogs and those podcasts and those things are part of the creative industry. They are part of the creative industry. Basically, the government is giving 100% duty-free concession to persons in the creative industry. What are they going to buy? Mics, computers, those other things that will help to enhance what they do, right? So that is the rubbish. This bill is to protect ordinary Grenadians, ordinary Caribbean citizens, information leaked and sold on the open market bidders, right? And what do we get for it? Nothing. We don't get anything, but we are the ones keep selling because as a small, or what we call third world countries, we don't see what we do and how it affects our country as America and Europe and all of those places where there are tons of information, access, library and so on, online information that you can access. There are apps and stuff that you can buy to protect your information from being sold to the highest bidder or your information to be stolen, right?
Right.
I am saying this, and I'm saying unapologetically, I am saying this emphatically, that this NNP opposition is hiding something. They do not want this bill to pass because this bill is going to expose something or is going to cause something that they don't want to get out. And I'm saying I want this bill to pass because I want to see what exactly it is that Dr. Mitchell and his band of people are trying to hide. I do not know ever that the NNP as a government or opposition is calling for public consultation. What have they done? The only reason why they went to the parliament for anything is because they must go to the parliament to make certain things law. Other than that, they cannot be law. It has to be debated in the parliament. But they had no opposition for the first term, 2013, 2018. And then Tobias crossed the floor, so they had one man opposition, which they basically stifled. They punished him in every way possible. They didn't give him furniture, they didn't give him office, they didn't do all kind of things, just to basically get rid of him. Right? The same things they complained about, same things he was complaining about in opposition. Now they are complaining about it. Right? Yeah. And I'm saying to Grenadians, this bill, this data protection bill does not need public consultation, it needs public education. It needs for our Grenadian people to understand that when you pick up a cell phone, when you run onto a computer, you're putting your information out there for somebody to thief it and sell it. Simple, plain talk, bad manners. This is what is happening. And we need to stop playing politics with the issues of the day. Because guess what? I have a 13-year-old daughter. She's becoming a teenager. And every chance she gets, she's on some device, some tablet or the other. I have a 5-year-old daughter. Every chance she gets, she's on a device. And we sometimes, as parents, don't always have the time. Let's be very honest. Because I love my prime minister. He says that. He said, let's be honest. We don't always have the time to sit down and go back over the history to see what our children. We trust that they are watching something on YouTube, but we don't know.
Right.
We don't always know because we don't always have the time to sit down and literally police everything that they do.
Yeah.
And there could be somebody, some hacker somewhere, stealing our information through them. Because something pop up on the screen and they want to see the cartoon, they just click, okay, bloop.
Yeah.
All the information is gone.
It's important that legislation is made so even the government of the day don't take advantage of people's information. Right.
But they do.
Right. But no, legislation strong. That's why you need strong from debate. So I'm not against the debate. I'm not against having rigorous debate. I'm not against going into committee and as they did today and pulling out a word that could possibly hurt individuals. I'm not really against that because NNP or NDC is not going to be in power forever for the rest of everybody's life. And then there'll be another administration, and to make sure that administration don't take advantage of the opportunity set in law, those things are necessary, right? Because I want to read a quick piece of information here. Data protection law is put in place to safeguard the privacy of personal information of individuals. They aim to regulate how people data is collected, used, processed, and stored by organizations, businesses, and governments. So this is not only for companies that might say, okay, so there's no data protection law in Grenada. Let me set up an office in Grenada, move it from Florida, set up in Grenada because I know I got the data protection law is lapsed or non-existent there. This type of legislation is necessary to be rigid. And again, I don't know why that wasn't passed before, but I think it's a common sense piece of legislation.
Thank you. Let me tell the nation something about that tactic that the NNP uses. Many people don't know. Right? And I recently come out in the politics, but I've been on the sunny part. Say Carrico and P.T. Martin, won by Tevin, resoundingly. NNP want to get back that seat. You know what they would do? They would send in men, women, young people, if needs be, to go and sit down on the block, sit down in the rum shop, go by the sister down the road there, talk to them. Just normal conversation. Because you see, we don't always realize that people are collecting data by simple conversation. Eh? You're riding a bus and somebody say, hey, you have a baby on you. Oh, I like that blanket there. And you don't tell them where you buy the blanket, but you pay for the blanket. How much times you wash the blanket, and you don't realize that all of these simple information is critical evidence that these people need to make their case. Okay, back to the NNP. So they will send somebody in, right? And you sit down on the block. Let's say the rum shop. You sit down in the rum shop and you're having a conversation, and they say, boy, my father has some land up in the mountain up there, boy, and I've been planting the land there for real years, boy. But you know the problem is I can't bring down my produce because you know road, but my vehicle only go halfway up the hill. That person takes that back to NNP, and they come and they have a meeting, a rally or something, and you hear them say on the podium.
By the way, we have no way to prove that is actually been done. So that's
hold on. That's what I say allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
So they come and they have a meeting, and then you hear on the podium allegedly, big and bold, we are going to build a by road from A to B, and you realize between A and B is your piece of land right there. I see it happen many times, and Junior behind the scenes. I can show you.
Right.
I can show you. But I'm saying this is what they are saying the bill is going to do. This is what they allegedly, let me use the word allegedly saying that the bill is going to do. Take your information and use it against you. It is not what is going to happen. It's going to protect you, protect your information. Right? And if you listen to any of their campaign speeches, go back. They're on YouTube. It's just a few months ago. Listen to it. You'll hear they start talking about things like, oh, we're gonna build this road and we're gonna fix this road and we're gonna fix this and go. And half of these times they're saying, but okay, why you want to what a road?
I
And
see that politics.
it
I
does.
see that as politics.
It is
Not
politics.
a
It is politics, but
that's,
it is a gathering of information and using that
yeah,
information, the information that you give against
right.
you. This is what they allegedly saying that this bill is going to do, and that is not the
Okay.
case. What this bill is going to do is to protect your information from being used against you, not taking your information and use it against you.
Let's listen to Honorable Prime Minister and his speech
Suspend the standing
earlier
orders so that the
today.
bill should be taken through.
His presentation.
Let me-
Listen in.
Firstly, good morning to you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning to my distinguished colleagues and the staff of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, we are working together. This is the clearest example of what it means to work together. This bill, Mr. Speaker, is a bill drafted at the request of the government of the prior day. So let me provide some context, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Leader of His Majesty's Opposition admitted that the OECS, as a region, embarked upon since on about 2011. I want to emphasize, we know in 2023. Since 2011, upon a package of legislation aimed at addressing the fact that the world and the OECS was increasingly moving to and processing electronic data. And as part of that process, several pieces of legislation were enacted in 2013. The Electronic Crimes Act. Let me repeat that. The Electronic Crimes Act. The Electronic Evidence Act. And the Electronic Transactions Act. And as the distinguished leader of His Majesty's Opposition said, the Data Protection Bill then was not enacted. Mr. Speaker, the then cabinet, headed and chaired by the leader of His Majesty's Opposition, in 2021 and in 2022, asked the Attorney General's Chambers and the Ministry of Legal Affairs to, in fact, review the 2011 Data Protection Act, to engage in the necessary review and consultation, to draft. And the then cabinet, chaired and led by now the leader of His Majesty's Opposition, approved in cabinet in March of 2022 this bill. Did you have the fear and concern about our citizens' rights when you sat in cabinet in March of 2022 and approved this bill? Mr. Speaker, regrettably, Mr. Speaker, You know, when I stand and I listen the passion of the distinguished Member of Parliament for the town of St. George about the need to work together, why did he not disclose that as a then member of cabinet, he approved this bill?
I guess that is the key point, and that is my concern, right? If this particular bill was approved, I mean the members of the cabinet, which was all the members there, pretty much gave this a green light to go ahead, right? Which means that they went through, they approved. Yes, it's good. I'm good with it.
No, not really.
No.
Not really.
Yeah. You
Not
there?
really. Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying not really.
Not really.
No, I think that cabinet move was a stunt. You see, OECS would require you, if it's an OECS law, they will require you to make moves on it. Right?
Hold on. Let me just question real quickly. No, it didn't pass Parliament. It was approved in cabinet. So let me just answer this person. They just asked, was it passed in Parliament, Junior? And the answer is no, it wasn't.
No.
So go ahead.
No. Yeah, so because Grenada is a part of the OECS, right? And there are certain legislations and laws on that level that governs things that happen even in Grenada. For example, the free movement. You can't tell somebody from St. Vincent, if that person is a law-abiding citizen, that they have 30 days to leave the island. It's not possible. They're entitled to indefinite stay in Grenada. They can live and work without paying for work permit. That's the word. Similarly, once certain things are passed at that level, it trickles down into every single member territory. So the first step is basically discussing it at the Parliament level, at the cabinet level. Right?
Yeah.
Because any matter discussed at cabinet level includes the technicians. What I mean by technicians, it includes the people in the different ministries, the PSs, the directors, and so on.
Right.
Which is a big concern, because this government, the NDC government, said when they came in that a lot of the vacancies, there was a lot of vacancies across the public service that were critical vacancies. So my question is, who was advising these people? Anyhow, they would have passed they approved it in cabinet, right, to make it look as if they were taking a decisive decision on it. They were doing something about it. They were making things happen. But the truth of the matter is, approving in cabinet it is
right.
Passing it Parliament, then having the government discussing among yourselves in the cabinet. It essentially doesn't do nothing because it's not law. It doesn't have to be implemented.
True.
But you can tell the OECS colleagues, hey, we discussed it in cabinet. We approved it in cabinet. It's not for it just to go to the Parliament. But really and truly, nothing. And they could say that, like they're saying now, that our technicians have some concerns with the wording and all of that, just to stall, so that it doesn't happen. Which is what Prime Minister Mitchell is essentially saying. Prime Minister Mitchell is saying that y'all gambled with this bill, right? And it's a bill that's supposed to protect Grenadians. So it goes back to my original question, Junior. What are they trying to protect? Or who they're trying to protect? That's the question.
Right. Again, the cabinet conclusion was cabinet conclusion number 245, and that was approved. What people saying is hypocritical, and I'm opening up the phone line so anyone could call and put a voice on it. Is they approved it? They said okay on it. They were okay with it, but now it's not. And I mean, I know it didn't pass. It didn't go to Parliament, and it wasn't passed in Parliament. It wasn't debated, but they could have. It was just as easy as it passed in cabinet. It would have passed through Parliament. They had 15 seats, right? And that is the question there. So let's open up the phone lines, guys. 718-701-5720. What's your reaction to all that you've heard today, right? Some of you who watched the entire presentation, you saw the reaction of the Prime Minister. Of course, you saw the reaction from the opposition leader. You saw Emmeline Pierre, who came out and spoke as well, and people noticeably mentioned that they did not see Delma because Delma wasn't there. She was noticeably absent. What's your whole thoughts? Open up the phone line 718-701-5720. And do you think that it's fear mongering happening? Because I'm hearing it on other mediums as this is aimed to take away some your rights and somehow such warrants and how that might impede on regular civilians. So let's talk about it, guys. Open up the phone lines again. 718-701-5720. We're talking about the data protection bill. It's not a bill. It's not an official bill yet. It has been. It didn't officially pass yet. It didn't pass today, right? I didn't see the ending part of it. I came off. What was the conclusion? Did you know the conclusion of everything?
No, I haven't. Actually, I walked in today and I was supposed to go check to see what happened with that, but I just, as I said, you called me as soon as I walked in, so I really didn't get a chance.
We'll update. We'll update. Right? So, guys, again, 718-701-5720. Put your voice on it. Let me know what you guys have to say. What are your thoughts? In the meantime, let's take a little portion again from the Prime Minister.
Gives significant protection to people's data as we speak. Mr. Speaker, banks, insurance companies, governments, employers, merchants, retailers, wholesalers are collecting large amounts of electronic data from just simple transactions as we speak.
Exactly.
And there is the risk that they could abuse, misuse, and sell that data, and there is very little or no protection to our citizens. And my loyal friends know that is what this bill is about. There's an Electronic Crimes Act. There was no view on cry about that. So, Mr. Speaker, that's why I said it seems to me we're debating the motion. The mere fact that you make a suggestion and someone does not agree with it doesn't mean you're not working together. And to stand and peddle this narrative that because you make a suggestion to this side of the house and we are not inclined to go with it, that we are not working together. And so we cannot tell our friends in London who were here last week that we're working together. So you see, Mr. Speaker, we have a responsibility, an obligation to be responsible, to educate our population, not invent narratives about fear. If there are genuine issues with the bill, they can be debated in the House, amendments can be suggested, and an improved version of the legislation can occur. And I don't need to speak on behalf of any sector of Grenadian society. It's a democratic society. Whether it's the trade unions, the bar association, the business community, creative persons in the ICT space, the NTRC, the telecoms companies, they are free to make suggestions and comment on the bill. They are here to debate. So, Mr. Speaker, I will conclude as I started. We are working together. We are completing a process initiated, overseen, and the only reason my distinguished friends on the other side are not completing the process themselves is because they're on the other side. So, Mr. Speaker, I certainly support the motion that the standing orders be suspended so that we may proceed with the business of the House. Thank you.
Again, guys, that was the presentation today by the Prime Minister. There were other presentation that was made, and I think personally, I believe that all of this debate, all of this conversation, when you have the opposition able to input, their knowledge or their experience into a conversation like this, I personally believe that is good for democracy. Now, before we had administration gone where we didn't have that type of debate. So to a lot of people, this is new. This is new to see an actual debate where they're talking about things. And I think that that's the best way to do it. Get things done where everyone input their knowledge on it. So I am not against this type of debate. In fact, as I said, Dwight, when they went into committee and Peter David sat there, and it seemed like Peter David was nitpicking everything. Like he was nitpicking, like, okay, change a word to again. And, there was little instances. And I said, that is democracy. It should be like that. That is necessary in order to build a strong bill that could withstand the times. But I don't think anybody in their right mind could say that a data protection bill is not needed in Grenada. I didn't hear the opposition.
It's critical.
Yeah, it's critical and it's needed. It has to be done. It will be done. It without a doubt. Nobody could say that, it is not something that we need. It needs to be done. And I will back that up by saying it needs to be done now.
Definitely.
That's where I sort of disagree with the opposition in terms of getting it done. Why should we kick the can down the road for another 2 weeks, 2 months, and get it done as soon as possible, right? Because they agree. They all agree that is needed.
Definitely.
Yeah. We're still asking you guys to call in and input your information on it. Dwight, you were saying?
Yeah. So I was going to say, I would not be too surprised. The reason why public consultation has been called for this is that somewhere out there are some surrogates that will stand up in some public consultation and say, well, change this to that and change. And then when you do not, as has happened with the MNIB situation, and when you do not take, the suggestions, at the final, the final decision doesn't include the suggestion, they come out and say the government, why the government come and have public consultation when
I think we lost.
They make up their mind what they want to do already. And
your video breaking up a bit. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead. You're better now.
Yeah. Let me just say this, right? No government in the Caribbean is going to sit down on a legislation for so long if that legislation, in some way or the other, is going to come back and bite them. I want us to think about that for a moment. There's no way you're going to have something that's for your people, for the betterment of your people, to protect your people, to protect their interests, to protect their financial data. No, Junior, I don't know about back home, but where I am, almost every other week I get a text. I'm from Samsung, and you didn't know a number, win this, and I'm wondering how these people get my number.
Right.
But then when I check back, a lot of the online sites that you go on and you fill up the information, you put your number there, and you don't for a moment think, well, I'm giving my info. For example, another example, we use this thing called GB WhatsApp. I said a lot of people use it to quote unquote spy on people's statuses and so on, and they don't understand that their information, their conversation, the things that they say, all of these things are being recorded somewhere, and people are using these things against you, for you, about you, and even with you, right? But I was especially shocked by Honorable Peter David's aggression, want of a better word, in the Parliament this morning regarding this bill, because traditionally Peter David is a revolutionist. He has
Right.
never changed his stance on the revolution. He's somewhat like the Rav Gonzalez of Grenada. And revolution, the mentality is protecting the people, protecting the interests of the people. And for him to, I'm beginning to wonder allegedly if all of these people that come into the parliament today to talk from the opposition side, they sit down around a table and decide what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, and all of that.
Yeah. A lot of it is listen, listen. A lot of this thing is just posturing, you know.
And that's essentially where I'm going with this.
A lot of this thing is posturing, and
And
we
I'm asking
understand it.
myself,
We understand this. We
and I'm
understand
asking
it.
myself, does Emmeline Pear really and truly, Auntie Emma, sorry, do you really and truly believe half the things you said today? Do you honestly, within your Christian integrity, believe half the things you said today? Because they don't make no sense.
Right.
You sound like you started off on one thing, then you jump down the road, and then what is even shameful to have people in our parliament linking this data protection bill
Yeah.
back to the leaking of documents. Then if we had a data protection bill, then why are we leaking? How documents get leaked in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, there are so much more that need to be discussed. What we're going to be doing, guys, what I promise you guys that we're going to be doing in the week, I'll have one of my legal experts right here on the ride to break this down even into further details. I would have done it tomorrow, but as I said, we got kind of stood up today on the programming, so I had to bring in Dwight, who has a lot of information, but we need critical inside information so we
Definitely.
can up into pieces and give you guys all of that information which is necessary. Because what I hate more than anything else is when you have people who who prey on people's ignorance and then go out there and they spread some kind of propaganda so people think that the world is going to end, and people, it just it's crazy. They think that by implementing this, someone is going to come up to your house and arrest you or steal things from you. They think that the police will get added powers to moving on civilians. All sorts of
Posture.
propaganda that is going. So it's necessary and important that this information is shared. And let's talk about what is and what's not. Let me see. We got a caller on the line. Let me see if I can bring that caller in. I've been having a little bit of problem with my mixing board. Caller live. Hello.
I'm sorry, I did not hear you.
Okay. Well, we lost that caller. So Dwight, listen, we had that time. Let's close it up. Let's close it up there. We're kind of over time already.
Yes, I need to sleep.
Conclusion.
To go to work.
Time flies. Like conclusion in all of this.
I just want to say to Grenadians that we are smart.
Yeah.
Good friend Akisha Phillips are big and we have, and we can pick sense from sense. When I looked at the Prime Minister, the opposition leader's face this morning, I didn't see the same arrogance and confidence I saw in the budget response. I see a worried look. I see a look of concern. And that kind of that's what actually caught my attention. I was actually heading out the house. I was supposed to leave my house at 9 o'clock this morning, and I leave my house until 12. Because I sat there and I listened to them, because somehow Dr. Mitchell's face did not look right. He looked very worried. He looked concerned. At first I thought it was age, but then I saw him 2 months ago. He looked worried. And I want to say to us, listen, we are better than this. We are smarter than this. And we as Grenadians need to stand up for our rights. We are independent for a reason. And so we should never allow anyone to take us for granted. Deacon Mitchell is a lawyer extraordinaire. He's nodded regionally, right, for his work in law. And I do not think he's going to bring a bill to the parliament that's going to cause Grenadians to be at risk. I don't think he's going to bring a bill in the parliament that's going to expose Grenadians or cause them to lose what. I don't think so. Personally, this man has shown us from the time he takes office that he cares about Grenadians and about people. Every single decision he has made, it's about people.
Yeah.
He paid the pension.
Danny said something here. Which is important. Not to cut you, but he said if they can make the teacher jump off flippers, some people would do it too. Sometimes, the last part about it, sometimes you have to challenge politician, and it doesn't matter what politician. I still think that we have to challenge and ask the hard questions, and we should get the answers. Not the first part, not the jump off a leaper's hill part, but in any case, think about if there were no opposition to Trump. Could you imagine the craziness? So
Okay.
I agree. We need to challenge politicians. No politician should be given the free rein to do as will. And yes, we think that the person might be a good person, a strong person, all of those things, but we need to always have the option to ask the hard question and expect them to give us the answers. I think that is virtually important. But Dwight, listen, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you, my brother, coming in. I have a little problem with my mixing board. It just went, nothing is happening on the board. So we got to wrap it up here. Thanks again, my brother. We'll keep in touch, and
No problem, bro.
I'll give you more notice next time. I promise you.
I'll send my bill. Have a good night. Thank you, Grenada. God bless you.
Thanks again. Guys, thank you for watching. Let's take a quick commercial break, telling you about the National Lotteries Authority supporting sports culture and nation building.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
Oh, Grenada, it's TGIF time again with the NLA. Thank goodness it's Friday. Every Friday in March, place 5 bets or more in a single ticket purchase on Cash 4, Pick 3 or Play Away. You automatically receive a quick pick inline ticket valued at $1. NLA is giving back more plays, more chances, more opportunities, and more prizes. Remember, when you play, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Promotion ends March 31st. You must be 18 years and over to participate.
Established in 1998, Ross Road Funeral Services continues to assist you plan the ideal funeral or memorial service locally or internationally. Our reputation is built on providing personalized funeral services based on love and compassion. Call Ross Road Funeral Services at 718-547-0640.
Ross Road Funeral Services, where your loved one is our loved one. Some legislation.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes. When you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Carpentry and Cleaning Service Inc., providing exceptional carpet and cleaning, floor installation, refinishing, home renovations, drywall, painting, plastering, doors and moldings, electrical and plumbing, and much more. We are a one-stop shop for all your professional needs. Give us a call today on 718-221-5572. That is 718-221-5572. Or you can call our cell on 917-939-3192. Check out our sales on all services. We're located at 218 Schenectady Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Phillips Carpentry and Cleaning Servicing.
Again, guys, thank you for watching and thank you for being a part of our program today. On behalf of all of our production team here at Ride Along Live, we're our senior executive producer, Lois JJ, our moderators, Kibbs, how you doing? Gail Charles and Deanne Fraser. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. Also remember, guys, Ride Along Live is where everyone have a story to tell. We encourage you to, if you have a story, you want to share your story, inbox us. We'd love to hear your story. All right? Catch you guys again tomorrow. Oh, got to tell you before I leave. If you have a business and you're looking to advertise, but not only advertise, market, there's two different, right? Companies give you opportunity to advertise, but not show you how you could market your business so you could send your business viral. Now we have a plan, a new marketing proposal to help your business go viral. Over 6.3 million views last month alone, guys. We want to give you a piece of that and get your business on, put it on a rocket, right? Take it to the next level. Inbox Ride Along Live and we'll share with you how we could market your business to take it to the next level. You could call us at 718-701-5720 or, of course, inbox us in the chat. Thanks again for watching, guys. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.